This is the Daily Saints Pod with Zach and Greg.
Hello and welcome back to the Daily Saints Pod. My name is Greg, and once again today joined by my good friend and wonderful co-host, Zach. How you doing, mate? You alright?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. How are you after being, kids away day yesterday, first one, hoping to absolutely smash West Brom. They put up a significantly better fight, but you didn't get to see a goal in the end. Just didn't feel like it came from nowhere,
Yeah, no, mate. It was good. Lovely evening out. Like you alluded to on the show, all of the people were lovely. The stewards were very friendly. It was good. Good time had. As you got busted on TV eating my dinner pre-match, so that was great.
Yeah.
Phone immediately lit up with people sending me that. That was fun. But yeah, no, it's good. Good. You said in your solo episode that like some wins feel like some draws feel like wins and some feel like losses, and I don't know if this one really felt like either, because it was like a win that for performance we didn't really deserve, and a point that we didn't deserve, but 11 unbeaten and keep that run going against a rejuvenated West Brom team. I can say they definitely caught us by surprise. It was
the parallels I drew to the Charlton game still sort of are quite prominent in my mind, right? Where like with the Charlton game, we went one up and our level dropped, and then they obviously were able to later equalise. It was almost like the opposite, where we started with that flat level, they scored, and we didn't really seem to react to it coming out after half time. Like that was like a 2 or 3 minute spell at the beginning of both halves. Obviously, the first half we just had possession for the sake of it, and the second half, they really started to believe, and then somehow we pipped it towards the end. And again, that's going to be the players then suddenly going, okay, let's try and get something. Credit to Adozie, Archer, and Larin coming on and doing a bit more than I kind of expected most of them to do, bar Larin, who I think's been excellent. But
yeah,
Adozie coming on and proving that he will be a capable substitute for.
Well, he might have to be more than a substitute, right?
Well, that's why I say that. I was going to say, mate, capable substitute for Leo Cienza, who most likely we've not heard anything as of time of recording, but it was too quick. Subbed off straight away. You could see that he was kind of making a gesture.
Yeah,
that's never good. Waiting results of a scan. Hopefully, you're looking either way. You could definitely rule him out for Saturday, I feel. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But look, I think overall, you take a point, you'd be disappointed with it, with how it should be coming into the game. But in the same regard, from the West Brom perspective, they like taking a step back and looking at it will feel like it's a good point, but based on performance will feel like it's points dropped. So it is what it is. I mean, it was to be expected. That's the sort of sacrifice you knew we were making when we played basically a full team against Fulham, right? We were either going to have to rotate and struggle or continue to play our first team, and there would be fatigue. And
yeah, but like as I said yesterday, we don't know if that's the extra game is the thing that broke the camel's back with injuring Leo. Do we think that it would have been worth it? If he misses out later on down the season and we don't have him for the FA Cup against Arsenal, and I don't know. I guess it's questions for other people.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Leo in particular is that you're going to want to play him because he is the sort of driving force of the team. Like I say, without him on the pitch in the second half, obviously we miss out on the person driving the ball forward in a transition. So, and that was part of the struggle. But yeah, I feel like when you look in the bigger picture at teams and teams that win things or teams that achieve things, any team on their day can play beautiful football and win games. The difference maker is when you perform poorly, are you able to pull a result out of the bag? And I think at any other point in the season so far, even with the good run we've been on, we don't go ahead and up enough to get that equaliser, let alone push on after the equaliser for the win like we did. So I'm taking confidence in that even with the poor performance, the kind of momentum and mentality is on the up, and something. And the same in reverse for West Brom, right? They will come away feeling, well, that's classic for our season that we we played so well all game and switch off for 30 seconds in stoppage time and get a goal. But yeah,
well, Pratt's put in some good stops, and then there are also some massive missed opportunities from them. Just because that's the thing. I think that one of the bigger differences in that game yesterday is that it feels like there were more clear-cut opportunities for them than us. We just, the only one I really think of where we just could have done more with was Stewart got the ball, didn't do anything with it. Charles picked up the ball, didn't do anything with it. It kind of just came to nothing in the end. And leading obviously into Saturday, it's I think that we'll actually probably do better against a team that isn't just putting a low block in front of us, and that is a problem that they need to resolve down the line. Or if not, we're going to come up against teams like Oxford and stuff like that in the future, and the same thing will continue to happen that's happened all season. It's the only things I have doubts about.
Well, that's the thing, mate, right? The joy of this league is now we've got to put that behind us this week and head into what promises to be a juicy fixture, an early kickoff on a Saturday, which is, that's a lot of football in really reasonably quick succession, Sunday into Wednesday into 12:30 on a Saturday, even for 3 games in 7 days. That is like the maximum output. And it's
there's not much of a break in between the next game after that either, if I'm totally honest. We're then 7:45 on a Wednesday.
They're just gonna keep coming thick and fast. But this game, of course, likely to have a bit of spice around it after what happened in the fixture at St Mary's with a bit of a needle with Lampard and a bit of a handbags, shall we say, after the game. So I don't know. It'll be. You're right, they're going to want to play, especially at home. They're going to want to be expansive, and that hopefully plays into our hands a bit. But I don't know, how are you feeling from it? You feel like recovering a draw from this game is enough positive momentum to see something good happen here?
Maybe. It feels like we might end up playing better because of the fact that the type of football we'll want to play might be different. It was like Fulham, we had to switch things up and somehow managed to grab a win. But the last 2 games haven't been what I would say concrete, solid on, and the fatigue would have definitely kicked in by Saturday. So I'm not. But this way, I'm not feeling as confident as I did before the West Brom game before against Coventry, and I've kind of chalked this one down to if our unbeaten streak loses, I'm not. It's not the end of the world because we are literally playing the team that is the top of the table, whose form for the last 5 games have been win, 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 win. So, how do you feel about that? If it gives you some confidence, because again, it's the injuries we picked up, right? We don't know how Bree is at this point. Hopefully, as I said yesterday, it's superficial. But if it's not superficial, then potentially we're playing a right back that's not played in a while, on top of playing a Dozy, who I think is ready to step up. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he'll be ready to play the full 90. I don't know really why we played Fellows on the left for a while. That was just a bizarre decision. I don't know why we just didn't start a Dozy at that point or bring a Dozy on, because he seemed to have a funny 5 minutes. Did you have confidence in the players that already looked very tired the other day?
We've seen Fellows play on. We've seen Fellows switched onto the left for us before.
Yeah, and so I don't remember him doing a lot on the left either time. So
no, it's a strange one, but it's it's what I tried to talk about coming into the game, right? If of the 3 games in the week, you would have looked at them and thought, if you're going to play a full squad for Fulham, you rotate against West Brom, and we didn't. And probably a good job that we didn't. If you see how the performances played out. But the physical aspect of that game and how frequently the games are coming is taking its toll. So you're right, we're coming in not knowing what the picture looks like against, like you say, a Coventry team who are absolutely flying at the moment with just on such a hot streak, 8 points clear at the top of the table, entirely green on the form. You're right, it's not easy to feel confident about it, but I feel like we'll give them a good game and we'll make it difficult for them. I don't think we're going to lie down and take a pasting. So it's the sort of age-old thing that seems to be just a part of the Southampton DNA, that for these bigger games, that's when we pull out all the stops. It's these ones that, risk complacency where it seems to go wrong. And I mean, it's if in the bigger picture, right, Wrexham lost on Tuesday and we missed the opportunity to make up points on them. We did get a point at least, so we're now exactly 3 points behind them and we still have to play them. So taking that into account, we have to see this as the opportunity to put the pressure on them to catch them. So it's probably it's the most difficult game we've got left this season, right? Is the crux of it. And if we have looked at that and decided because of that we're going to rotate and it kind of is what it is, then I don't know, maybe that is what we see. But it's a strange one to me. But yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. It's going to be a tough game. It's not. It's probably the first game this season I won't say, yeah, it's a game we should go in and win, because it's not going to be as easy as that. And I mean, the form pretty clearly shows it, right? That's the biggest thing to get over.
Yeah, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly, mate. It's just going to be a really tough game. Is the one that I'm probably, you're right, worried about. Not the most up to the end of the season. I think that the game against Wrexham is the one that I think is going to be the most crucial, and the one where, beginning of the season, I'm kind of annoyed that it took a last gasp minute sort of winner from Jack Stevens. We felt like we should have walked over them. As the season has gone on, I don't believe that's the case anymore. And as I said, I think they're starting to gel very well. Coventry is almost, to me, a free hit because I don't expect us to win. So if we take anything out of it,
it's a bonus.
Basically.
Yeah, and I think that it's reasonable to sit and see that, because you, like I say, flying high at the top, win after win after win after win, like just pure green in the form sheet. It's going to be difficult to expect to come into it and take something, as much as you hope that we can. But yeah, I mean, look, let's get into to the nitty gritty of it, mate. Let's go for some predicted lineups. What do you think? Right, Peretz in goal is obvious. It's no longer a discussion point.
Yep, perfect.
But, to name a full 11, we've got to say it, right? Stevens and Howard-Bellis, no concerns for me in defence.
Yeah, I think it was interesting to note that Quasi wasn't even in the substitutes yesterday. So I feel like, it would be Stevens and Howard-Bellis, didn't have the best of games yesterday. I can't remember who it was that you say it was Howard-Bellis that was caught a little bit in a bit of a weird position for their goal.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a bit weird, but it didn't look like it was not. It didn't look like he was out of place compared to where he was supposed to be. I just think the system we have for marking the corners is supposed to be more zonal than man. And what that subsequently meant is that the only way he could actually stop his player getting the head to the ball was to shove them out of the way, which actually in effect shoved them closer to the faff in front of the goal and just added to the body count and made it even more difficult. So
to be fair, that whole goal was just scrappy, sloppy, and considering that we'd gotten rid of some other balls throughout the game in similar manner, doesn't really surprise me. But yeah, considering how good they've been for the season, I don't know really why you'd change things up unless there's an injury concern or fatigue. Obviously, when Stevens went down, he was holding his sholdder. We've not had a press conference yet. We'll probably, if we do get one last minute today when you're listening. So, or it will be 30 minutes after we recorded, which happened last time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really know why you'd change it if it works. So yeah, I guess Stevens and Howard-Bellis at the back.
Yeah, and then fullbacks, Bree, if he's okay. right?
If he's okay, if we see Gillett, I guess that will be the answer to that question. We don't really have much of an option to swap out for Manning at the moment. And if Manning isn't as injured as Bree, I feel like he'll play.
I think Manning was okay last night. He didn't make huge mistakes. He was fine. Caught slightly out of position for one of the attacks, I think, that I recall, down that left-hand side in the first half.
There are plenty of other players to criticise from yesterday, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, it was just more of just the way the game was, right? It seemed just wasn't a very good game. We just didn't play very well.
No, that's it. And, that's kind of the back line. Moving up to the middle, do you expect to stick with this Flynn, Downstreet, Charles combination? It seems
I saw a lot of criticism for Charles, which I find quite surprising. So I thought towards the end
he was one of our better players on the pitch.
Yeah, it's interesting.
From that mistake that I was talking about from Manning. So
but I think that again, like, you pay a lot more attention to what goes on off the ball than I think that you do when you're proper in the thick of the action. But I don't really see much of a reason to change it. As we've noted, like, Yander seems to be off it a bit at the moment. If he comes in and puts in a performance, I wouldn't be bothered. Obviously, Shea's just played a full 90, so I wouldn't be surprised that we might end up with Yander and Downs potentially. Obviously, Cam Bragg came on as a sub, so that's why I'd see you've got fresh legs in Yander at that point, and then you've got Downs. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them, but if they keep them as is, I am also not upset by that.
Yeah, makes sense. And then we've got to presume that Leo's out.
Oh yeah, 100%. Unless all of a sudden some sort of miracle happens and he's like, Skankly back, he's fine. He just fell to the floor, grabbed his groin, immediately got subbed off for no reason. Just wanted an afternoon off, which is not something that man does not want or know how to do, to be honest.
No. And Azaz, I don't think had his best game, but did grow into it and got better as the second half went on.
It's very much like we said the same at Charlton, because it's the same type of game as Charlton, right? Low block. Just couldn't really break through
with that, I think.
Yeah, and I think that is a problem. We don't really have a answer or a substitute for that position that would change it or make it any different.
No. I think I've talked about it before. I think the thing with Azaz is that it's easy to come down and say, oh, he had a rubbish game. But I think especially in these games, these like Charlton and West Brom games, where the defence is so organised that you're playing against, it looks worse than it is, because what he's trying to do is like push the envelope and like find the gaps. And because he's, skirting close to that line and they're so organised, it kind of just ends up looking like he hasn't been able to put a pass right for the entire game. But actually, I think it's just because he's just trying to find those margins, and those margins are just harder to find when they are as organised as they are. Because, it's that ability to unlock the passes and find the balls. There were 2 or 3 times I can think of yesterday where he played a ball that looked fantastic, like the movement in front of him was good, and then a West Brom player just ended up in the way. So, I think it's easier to judge negatively on that when the margins are so fine, because of the type of style that he plays.
But that's the problem. Is it was just in general a more team thing, right? That's what I think the problem was overall. Is that it was just a bit of a rubbish team performance. So I'm not really there to point out too many negatives. I will just say that if we think of him as a hot and cold player, that was just one of those cold days.
But so I guess Edozie on the left, Azaz in the middle, and then Matthew Fellows on the right. That's an interesting question.
I know that people said that he didn't have the best game yesterday, and I don't think he did. That's accurate. But I just think Fellows didn't really offer a lot at all. I don't know. His form seems to have switched around. I don't know what's going on. It might just be like tiredness catching up with him. It might be mentality of losing out of his place to somebody else.
I think specifically with the game yesterday, it was just him getting pushed back too far to really unlock the potential of his game. So he was having to go quite deep to pick up the ball, and then he was trying to make his kind of cross-field or down-the-line runs, and then was just ending up either being forced completely backwards because there just wasn't anywhere to go, or having to stop and turn around and find a pass shorter and simpler anyway. And I think the same with Matchday, because Matchday is, before his position that we bought him for was a number 10 role, an attacking midfielder. And because you can see that, because instead of naturally staying out wide like you'd expect a winger to do, he's happy to drop deep and more central to try and drop into the gaps and pick up the ball. But with the particular system we play, especially with Bree behind him, it was noticeable that then the ball works his way out to Bree and he's looking forward to the pass out to Matchday, but Matchdy's not there because he's dropped deep, and so is either more central or more deep, and it just wasn't quite clicking. And I think, again, that's just down to how organised West Brom's defence were, because they were forcing them to work harder to create or find the spaces, and it just wasn't quite allowing the sort of fluidity that we look for. So I think he was all right. I think he just was marked out of the game because West Brom's defence was very organised and their press was very good. But
yeah, we just need to figure out a way to deal with teams that do that in a better way.
But I think based on that, I'd be happy with either of them. I don't know who would have more luck against Coventry, but Matchday seems to be the player favoured by Tonda, and I think that's sort of reasonable. Tonda cites his big match experience in other leagues, and I think that's also kind of fair enough. Yeah, I agree. I'd be happy. To be fair, I'd be happy with either of them, but I can see Matchday getting the nod to start. And I guess the other interesting debate is Larin to start or Stewart. For me, it's 100% Larin, so it'll be interesting to see how you go.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think that he's Stewart's a bit gangly. And it means that if it really depends. Like when he's on fire, he does really, really well. I think that Larin is also gangly, but has quite is physically stronger and able to shrug off defenders just a little bit better. And
his physical presence in the game is unbelievable, whereas Stewart has a bit about him, but is also kind of happy to offer that running in behind option, whereas Larin is quite happy to just, no, you can push me off the ball. I'm here. This is my spot, and I'm going to take it down, and I'm going to find a pass. So,
and that's why, depending on what, I think that Stewart's probably better at actually shooting and scoring goals, but it depends how we're scoring them. And, Larin still managed to put one away yesterday, regardless. So, yeah, for me, but it also, you wonder, is it better to start Stewart for the first 45 and then bring Larin on for the last 45 like we did the other day? And that also worked, right? It's having that sort of physical, imposing presence that can come off of the bench fresher halfway through the game. That could also be quite daunting for Coventry to face, and also good for us. But I'm kind of happy with both of them, realistically. Again, it was just that first half of the game yesterday was very much just we had a lot of possession and just did not a lot with it. And I don't think Stewart got that many chances, and even the one that I talked about that he probably could have done better with, it was difficult because they had half the entirety of the West Brom team on him almost immediately. So yeah, I wouldn't be too bothered, but I think it was just, it was the difference maker, right? And that alone at this point Larin has been able to win us at least 4 points, which as a transfer on its own is probably useful, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, definitely. It's nice. Oh yeah, I really rate Larin. I think we looked better with him on the pitch. I think he offered more both of the games this week so far, Fulham and West Brom. Yeah, I think we look more complete with him at the moment, and that's good. It's good to have both those options, right? Because that Stewart's capable of banging in goals for fun at this level. So yeah, nice that that's there. Right, mate, that's the lineup. So time to start over to the little summary. Obviously, historically speaking, we actually do quite well against Coventry, mate. 9 matches in recent memory, 5 wins for us, 3 draws, including of course the one in December, and 1 win for Coventry. So
very different teams to the ones we played previously, though. I will point that out.
Oh yeah, very, very different. The form for both teams, pretty good. Our form, obviously, 3 wins, 2 draws overall, and our away form is 3 wins, 2 draws. So the same but different. 11 unbeaten in all competitions at the moment, obviously, but Coventry's form is just ridiculous. Win, 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 win. So yeah, not what you really want to see to come up against. But the little summary, mate, you'll be surprised to hear, recommends Coventry to win with a score of either 2-0 or 2-1. So not suggesting over 2.5 goals today, interestingly. But
I mean, one of the results is literally 2-1, mate. That is over 2.5 goals. So
yeah.
Sure.
But with that out of the way, how are you feeling, mate? What do you think is going to come from this game?
I wouldn't be surprised if we end up just like picking up a draw. If I'm totally honest, another draw would be frustrating for both teams, to be perfectly honest. But I could see that happening. I could easily see it being like 1-1. That would again, anything from this game, I think for me would be considered a bonus. So I'm not gonna go out on a limb and be like, yeah, we're gonna batter them like 3-0. I genuinely think I like the idea of them scoring first and then us ruining the party later down the line. So yeah, that's pretty much how I see it.
You enjoy watching games in discomfort?
No, I don't enjoy watching games in discomfort. I'm just a Saints fan.
It is forced upon us, regardless of enjoyment. Yeah. And where's our goal coming from in that one for you, mate?
Why don't we say Adozi to get us first? How about that? That'd be nice to see.
Nice. I'll take it. I'll take that. Do you know, it's crazy, mate, because before you said that, 1-1 was the score that jumped into my head to say as well, but I can't agree with you two previews in a row. So I guess it's going to have to be a 2-0 Saints win.
Okay. It's a lot of confidence you have there in a team that are struggling right now with fatigue, but hey-ho. We'll see what they're made of.
Like I say, these are the sort of games we tend to show up for, regardless of fatigue, and it will be, I think, let's have a Larin goal and a Dozy goal. Yeah, I like that thought. A Dozy assist as well for Larin's goal. Another nice connection between the two. That'd be nice to see. Right, two in a week is exactly what you want from a forward line pairing. So let's hope. But yeah, it'll be an exciting game. It's definitely going to be a good watch on the 12:30 kickoffs. That's for sure. So
for sure,
keep us interested. But look, that is all that we have got time for today. So thank you, as always, for joining us. And Zach, as ever, thank you very much for joining me. And thank you for putting out an incredible solo match review yesterday. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to it back. This has been our 400th episode, which is
that's not
absolutely insane. So thank you, everyone, for all of your support and pushing us through to frankly a milestone I don't think either of us foresaw getting to, but it's great.
with our inability to pay attention and stick to stuff, I expected us to get maybe to like 50 at a stretch, but it just turns out we talk about Saints so often.
It's just natural.
Just have to click record and then go from there, innit?
But look, so thank you everyone for your support.
Thank you.
It's been amazing. Let us know in the comments on the socials what you think the score is going to be on Saturday lunchtime. We are Daily Saints Pod absolutely everywhere. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube, everywhere. Hit us up, let us know. And while you're there, why not give us a like and subscribe, because it continues to help us so much and we are eternally grateful. We will be back after the game to talk about it, whatever happens, be it good, be it bad. We will be here and we will cover it in all of our raw emotional glory. But until then, everyone, I hope you'll have a wonderful weekend. And most importantly, come on, you Saints.
Hey. This is the Daily Saints Pod with Zach and Greg.